All right, Philip, can you hear me all right?
Yes, I can hear you guys.
Okay, so let me get this. So correct me if I'm wrong. Filip Rebraca.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so Philip, we'll take questions from the media. Welcome to Iowa City. If you have a question, raise your hand in the lower part of the screen and we'll get ready for Philip. All right, Philip, our first question will be from Scott Doctorman.
Hi, Philip. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm terrific. Thanks for asking. I was wanting to know how Iowa's style of play impacted your decision to come here, and how much of Luka Garza have you watched over the last year to 2 years?
Starting off with the first part, I know that Iowa likes to play fast, and that's not really something we did at North Dakota. And it's a very free-flowing offense. Everyone is engaged. Everyone has a role to play. Everyone can make decisions and can make plays. So, I wanted to go to a place where this was the case, because I think this is like the best and the most fun brand of basketball. And then, I watched a few games of Luka Garza. I didn't follow Iowa throughout the whole season just because, as a student athlete myself, we had our own competitions and whatnot. But when I got the chance, I definitely tuned into Iowa. I got to see a few games.
All right, Philip, next question is from Chad Leistekow at the Des Moines Register.
Hi, Philip. Welcome to Iowa City.
Thank you.
What was Fran McCaffrey's specific pitch for you to come to Iowa? He does not use the transfer portal often, so he must have seen something in you that he liked.
He just told me that my versatility will be used, and this is what I pride my game on, doing a little bit of everything. I can shoot a little, I can drive a little, I can be in the post, I can run, I can mid-range, face up. So, that was his pitch to me, that all aspects of my game will be used. And, I just really like to hear that, because that's kind of what I pride myself on.
Philip, next question is from Mike Kloss.
Hello, Philip.
Hi.
If you could, give me a nutshell biography of yourself. Where have you lived? Where have you played? That sort of thing.
I lived all across of Europe and a few places in America. I was born in Italy when my father played for Benetton. I lived in Greece right after when my father played for Panathinaikos, and he won the EuroLeague there and was the Finals MVP. And then he decided, he wanted to challenge himself and go to the NBA. So our first stop in the U.S. was Detroit, then LA, and I went back to Italy. And then when my father retired, I lived in Serbia for a few years. And then after that, I decided to come back to the United States to finish off high school. I finished high school in Colorado, and I went to prep school in Massachusetts. North Dakota was my previous university, and now I'm here. So it's been a long journey, to say.
What was 3 years in North Dakota like, considering all the other places you lived?
It was very different. I feel like this was my first time being in the Midwest. Just people, the culture and whatnot. And definitely the winters. So I'll never forget the winters up there. It's probably the most brutal thing I've ever experienced. But it's a place I really called home for 3 years, and it gave me a lot of opportunities to become not only a better athlete and student, but also a better person. So I really cherished my time over there.
Philip, next question is from Jet Beecham.
So Philip, I mean, with having all the experience you have, growing up with a dad that played basketball all over, what did you learn from him, and how does your game, I guess, mirror his, if it does at all?
I learned a lot, and I still talk to him like literally almost every day about practices and what I need to do. But he's always been telling me I need to be in the gym 24/7. If I've been in the gym for 3 hours, he says, oh, back in my day, I was in the gym for 4 to 5 hours. And if I've been in the gym for 4 hours, he's been in the gym for 8 hours. So, he's always just telling me that hard work is the number one thing. So work ethic, and and he's been trying to promote that as much as he can. And then our similarities in our game. I mean, he played the classic five. He was taller than me. He was 7 foot. And he predominantly played in the post. But we both have a similar mid-range game, and I guess post game, because we both used our finesse at times. And that's how I'd kind of compare our two games. But apart from that, I'm a little more forward orientated than he was.
All right, Phil, next question is from Scott Doctorman.
So how many languages do you speak, and what is kind of considered your mother tongue?
I only speak 2 languages, so Serbian and English. I mean, I was learning Italian. I can read and I can understand it, but I can't really speak it. But considering my mother tongue, it's really hard, because I remember I was maybe like 2 or 3 when I moved to the US, and I kind of learned Serbian and English simultaneously. And I really haven't mastered either language until later on in my life. So I can't really pinpoint what I would say is my mother tongue, because I'm fluent in both, and I learned them at the same time.
Well, they're different alphabets. I mean, isn't it more of a Cyrillic alphabet? And that's awfully difficult, whereas going from Italian to Spanish to English isn't that different. That must be, was that ever confusing learning both languages?
Yes, but I mean, in Serbian, we also use the Latin alphabet as well. So it's not only Cyrillic. I did learn Cyrillic, and Cyrillic took me a little bit of time when I was a little bit older to learn. And I know it was kind of weird learning all these new letters, but I feel like I know them pretty well now.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Philip, next question is from Chad Lysticow.
Hey, I think I read in your statement that one of the reasons you left North Dakota was to pursue a graduate program. What are you going to do at Iowa, and is your plan to be here for 1 year or 2 years?
My plan is to be in the Master's in Finance. So that would be my graduate program. And UND didn't offer that. They only offered 2 specific grad programs that I was not really interested in, unfortunately. And can you repeat the second part of your, if I'm going to be here for 1 or 2 years? The plan is to be here 2 years, because this is the 2-year degree. And I really want to, I don't want to leave things, unfinished. So my plan is for 2 years, but if I have an exceptional season and, I have an opportunity to go play pro and, earn a lot of money, I guess, it's always something you have to take into consideration, but I am strongly, leaning towards staying here 2 years.
Well, next question is from Don Doxey.
Yeah, Philip, just you've been here for maybe a week or so. What are some of your early impressions of Iowa and Iowa City and the people here?
My first impressions was when I actually committed, because the fan support that I received was overwhelming. I know Iowa fans are really into their sports, I guess. But being here, it's a great town. It's a great college town. I got to see a few places here and there. So it's a really nice place to be in. I like being in a little bigger places. So I think this is a little bit better for me than Grand Forks, North Dakota. So yeah, I have no complaints so far. I think I'm in a great place.
Our next question is from Mike Kloss.
I don't want to pigeonhole you as a Serbian, but do you have any kind of comparison to Nicole Yokic?
The funny part is Nicole Yokic and I are actually from the same hometown, and we actually know each other. So when I go back to Serbia and when he's there during the summer, we sometimes see each other. I'm not saying we're best friends, but we always greet each other. We always talk about how we're doing and whatnot. When we were younger, we used to practice during the summer. I forgot how old we were. We were very young. But I don't know. He's a special player. He's a once in a generation type player. And I would say maybe some of my post moves might resemble his. So I would say that would be the main resemblance of my game to his.
What can you tell people about him that you know? You know, I mean, just being on the same court with him, you must have some description of him or some idea of why he does the things he does or how he does them.
Well, back then, I mean, we were young, so, you know, nothing really stood out. But, you know, off the court, I really think he's a humble guy. You know, when I see him out there, he's not very flashy person off the court. You know, he's very down to earth. And, you know, that's something that I don't know if a lot of people know about him, but maybe people from our hometown and maybe from Serbia know. But, you know, he's a really humble guy, you know, and we like to see that, I guess.
And that's Sambor, is that correct?
Sombor, yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry for the pronunciation. Thank you.
It's okay.
All right, we have time for one or two more if anybody has it. Otherwise, we'll let Filip go on his way. Last call. All right, thank you, Filip, for your time today. And again, welcome to Iowa City and good luck with your summer workouts.